How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. And yeah, ARTETA out. I don't give a damn. I don't care. What the hell did we watch today? Genuinely. What the hell did we watch today? What the hell was all that about? What is happening at this club? I have no words. I'm kind of lost for words, but ultimately, well, today in the stream, let's be real, we're gonna try and make some sense of it if there is any sense to be made. But ultimately, the bottom line is that, well, ARTETA is not good enough. If you needed any proof that Mikel Arteta was not good enough and he needs to go, there was your proof again. Because people may say, oh, it's a one-off game, look, we have won few games in a row and everything. Just shut it. Because these performances have not been one-offs. These have been going with us throughout the whole season, this year, and partially pretty much also last season. And that hasn't stopped. So we're going to talk about all that. We're going to look what Mikel Arteta had to say after the game in the press conference, look at some stats, discuss some opinions, talks with you, some topics you're basically going to put in the chat, of course. And yeah, if you're new around here, subscribe, like the thing, definitely like the stream, like the video, spread it around, share it, because let's be real. There's no way back from this. There is no way back from this. And I think genuinely there is no way Arteta can escape this, because at some point the accountability must settle in. At some point the accountability must happen. But so far, none of the accountability has happened. I would say arguably one of the positive things is that I have seen today, and I kid you not, top gooners actually calling for Arteta out. There actually have been some top gooners, Arsenal fans, who are screaming for Mikel Arteta to be sacked, to get out of the club, and all that jazz. So definitely there is lots and lots of stuff to be there. So let's see how this goes. Let's see where this takes us. And yeah, we're gonna go from here. Let me quickly just put this out on I just closed the app. Oh my goodness, I'm such an idiot. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on the game while I'm doing this. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts on the result of the game and everything. I will be live. We're gonna do everything in a split second, and then we're gonna go from there. We're gonna talk about the game, look at some stats and all that stuff, as I already said before. I'm really pissed off about the game. I'm really pissed off about the result, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure where this is gonna head today. Genuinely, I have no idea where this is heading today, so we'll have to wait and see, because this could actually get out of hand ultimately at the end of the day. Yeah, found the worst manager in the league, who subs Kelly and puts Partey at right back and make Timber at the left back, and Timber can't play there. Exactly, Timber at left back doesn't look great. Let's be real, he doesn't look great. He looks good, he looks better than, well, actual so-called left backs we have in the team. But overall, he's not great there. His best position is right back. He has proven it over and over again, and Arteta still decides to shy away from that. Around 40th, 41st minute, something like that, Kieran Tierney, after the warm-up, was going down the tunnel. I got some bit of a hope that maybe he will come on for some crosses. Maybe he's gonna do some overlapping in the second half, but Tierney again held bench and didn't even come on. So that really also pissed me off, because Tierney should be getting a chance. And he gets nada. He generally gets no chances, no nothing whatsoever. So this is a bit of a rough one, I'm not gonna lie. But it's a shame to see that Tierney is not getting a fair chance, a fair situation at Arsenal. But I don't know. I generally don't know what Arteta is doing. I have no idea, no clue. All I know is that I want him gone, and I don't want to see him come back. Send him, sack him, don't care. Kroenke is just do for once the proper thing. Sack him, don't care. Pay him the 30 million, 35, 40 million you owe him for the 3-year contract, and let him go to Spain and coach Cadiz, Elche, or Deportivo La Coruña. Although I don't wish on that club. I have a bit of a soft spot for Deportivo La Coruña. Send him to somewhere. Celta Vigo, who actually are balling, so I cannot even send him there. If you'll Albacete or someone like that, San Martin and teams like that, send him there. Send him. Just send him and never come back. Genuinely, and find a proper replacement. Like, there needs to be a change in the hierarchy, and obviously we can call for owners, but that's not gonna happen. Next best thing we can do is the hierarchy and the manager, and they need to go. They need to bloody go. It's bad enough that we have Edu's notepad, who actually, as sporting director and Arsenal are in no rush to replace him. They are not going to even do the right thing and replace Arteta. For God's sake, you have the money. Sack him, pay him off the 40 million or whatever, and just let him be. And find a proper manager, new manager. The only thing is that's playing in Arteta's favor is that, quote unquote, no good manager is available. But what about Nagelsmann? What about Mancini even to some level? And let's be real, get De La Fuente from Spain, Spanish national team manager. You can even go and buy out another manager if you wanted to and he's open to a move. But will the owners do the right thing? No, they won't. They're happy with Arteta. Arteta to Kroenkes at the moment is the same thing as Wenger was. It's a shield for them. It was Edu and Arteta, now it's only Arteta, of course. Because the way Arteta, how highly he speaks about Kroenkes is the same as Wenger used to do. It's generally the shield. It basically, there is no accountability. Arteta doesn't look worried at all. It feels like if he had some balls, if he had actually some conscience, he actually would resign himself. Right now, end of the season, he just would do it. We could salvage this season to some extent, maybe, because Liverpool dropped points today. Arsenal, did they take advantage of that? No, of course they didn't. Now, genuinely, Chelsea and City are both sitting there and laughing. Because if Chelsea win, if City win, they just not overtake us in terms of City. They're on the same points. Chelsea closes the gap, City closes the gap, Arsenal sit where they are, and Liverpool, well, it's Liverpool. They have a game in hand, but game in hand, it's not always a guarantee. Sean Dyche played the perfect game. Everton didn't have many shots. They had 2 shots. And none on target today. And the one time they actually could have scored in early game was the time when Gabriel blocked the shot from Doucouré. If Doucouré cut it back, if he was a striker, not a midfielder / number 6, right? And if Doucouré was an attacker, he definitely would have fake shot it, let Gabriel slide back to Lille or Brazil or wherever, and he just would have sweated across the line or just curled it far corner. We would have been 1-0 down, and the base how we played today, we had no chance in even drawing that game. We didn't even manage to score. We had 13 shots, 5 on target. And none of those were hella dangerous shots as well. Those were all light work, easy shots for Pickford. We didn't create almost anything. 3 games on a bounce, 3 games in a row in Premier League against Fulham, against United, and now against Everton. We haven't scored from an open play. A team that should be challenging for the title, that should be pretty much on top of the table, cannot score a goal from open play in Premier League against mid-level relegation candidate teams. Okay, Fulham is a bit different story, but United, come on. And Everton, come on. This draw for Everton is pretty much like a win for them, let's be real. For Arsenal, it's the same thing as a loss. It's embarrassing. With the squad that we have, what are we doing? Like, what the hell genuinely are we doing here? How is this manager still a job? How nobody in the hierarchy, the owners, don't see that he's out of his depth, and massively. And it's not just one or few games. We saw that last year and this year as well. We see Arsenal's B team at Fulham, you know, your Lenos, Ivobis, Nelson, Smith-Rowe and all them, man, play better, more exciting football and getting, you could say for Fulham, better results than Arsenal are getting with their nearly 800 million squad. Like, what are we doing here? In the last 5 years, Fulham have lost their best players like Palhinha, Mitrovic, and other players. Arsenal have only added, quote-unquote, better, more dangerous, more attacking players. Yet Arsenal, at the end of the day, wins nothing. Based on how Fulham are spending, who they have in the team, they're having much better season, they're playing much better football, and they're much more exciting. And as a Fulham fan, I would be very excited to watch this team play. Because the way you have played at Anfield today against Liverpool, phenomenal. Because Liverpool got a red card, yes, 10 men, but it's Anfield, it's a bit different. Liverpool have know-how. They have the world-class players. They have the players who have been there and done that. Arsenal have none of that. Arsenal have a wannabe manager who is basically suited to be a manager at Valencia, Cadiz, Elche, who else is there? Albacete, as I said. Amorbieta beat second league teams in Real Zaragoza, second league teams in Spanish division. Maybe mid-low end team in La Liga. And that's it. He's not good enough to be Arsenal's manager. And it's been shown year after year in the last few times. And game after game as well. And yet there are still Arsenal fans who watch these crap performances, these games, and say, oh, but we still can do it. We're still gonna win the league. They say these things. I have seen it. Havertz is good enough? No, he's not. The money wasted on Havertz, 65 million plus the 265 grand he gets a week, which cumulates to around nearly 60 million a year. In his contract. He's gonna be here for those 3-4 years, right? Put that money together, that's 130 something odd million, right? That's 30%, not 30, I'm lying here, 25% of the new stadium we want to build. Might as well not sign Havertz and build the new not the new stadium, but expanded Emirates. That's 25% of that already. That's one player alone. Havertz genuinely in the market should be worth about 20-25 million, and he should be at about 80 grand a week max. Like, I don't know what's going here. What are we doing here? How the Cronkies are so blind to this, genuinely. And then Arteta has the nerve to come out and say this is the best ownership we have seen. Nobody is as hungry as them and all that stuff. They're amazing. I have full support from them. And you can see that. After losses, Jaws, he's going to shake opposing manager's hand and he's laughing. He's smiling. He doesn't care. You can see he's out of his depth, but no one's going to do anything about it. And we see that every single time. And game as well. Same tactics, same ideas, same types of play, same types of subs, nothing new. One injury makes us shift the whole team around. Arteta panics instantly. One injury to a left back and he decides to play a right back as a left back. Which means we don't have another right back, so we play midfielder as a right back. What are we doing? Partey is the best midfielder we have in the team this season. And we play him right back. Timber is the best right back we have in the team, and we play him left back. It doesn't matter that we have two left backs on the bench. It doesn't matter that Timber's best position is right back. It doesn't matter that Rice at 6 and as an 8 has been on very mediocre form this season, and it's not good enough. What does Merino do in the team then? Genuinely, what does Merino do in the team? He's utterly useless as well. 30 plus million for that guy. What does he bring to the team? Seriously, what does he bring? Odegaard as well. Dude, I don't want to talk about this. The passing off, dribbling off, shooting, maybe killed some pigeons at the Emirates who were flying above them watching the game. At best, maybe hit someone's beer in the stands. Maybe that's what he was aiming for. Shocking performance today. Genuinely shocking performance. He is not captain material, let's be real. He is not. The only player currently I can put my hand on heart and say who deserves to be a captain at Arsenal, it's Gabriel. Big Gabriel, the center back. I'm not talking about Martinelli. That bum needs to go back to El Salvador or wherever the hell is he from. Odegaard is not captain material. Not good enough. Saka got shut down today, although he had some few good moments. Odegaard squandered those moments he created. Havertz, as useful as an umbrella on a sunny day. All this money, all these players, 15 mil a year to a bum-ass manager, and we haven't scored enough from open play in 3 games. Summer transfer window where we should be signing the best of the best. We need to get in Champions League to sign the world-class players. 2 years in Champions League, no world-class players signed. Only some bums on overpriced wages that are barely good enough to be a backup, who would be even backups at Crystal Palace, at Brentford, at Fulham, at teams like that, at West Ham even, who would be backups only, and we pay them 100 plus bags a week, and we rely on them for us to change the game, to win the games. What are we doing here? Genuinely, what the hell are we doing in this club? It's embarrassing to highest extent embarrassing. We play our shit, that's the worst. Exactly. Exactly. And let's be real, we actually could have lost the game because if Doucouré scores that chance, if Gabriel doesn't block it, right? If he cuts it back, maybe Doucouré curls it far corner. He's a midfielder. He maybe does. He's more defensive midfielder, so he doesn't have these instincts to maybe cut back as Gabriel is sliding down the lane and everything, and then curl it far corner. He doesn't have those, so he decided to shoot. Let's be real. But if it was a striker, right? Even Jack Harrison, for example, like what are we doing? He genuinely would have just scored, and the way we were playing, we would have even lost the game. And even imagine the scenes then. If we lost this game, can you imagine the scenes? 0-0, 89th minute, and our players are walking on the pitch. No urgency, no energy, no desire, no nothing. I wouldn't be surprised that low-key, most of the team is Arteta out. I wouldn't be surprised. And if Arteta stays, there might be a situation where those players just hand in transfer requests solely because they are sick of him. I wouldn't be surprised, because for how long you can force your attacking players to defend when they openly say in interviews they want to attack and they don't want to defend? How long will other players suffer and withstand this? They have to play out of position. They're gonna get hooked off when their game is going for them. Getting swapped, getting changed, you don't know what's going on. How long do you think they will stand for this? It's bad enough that Real Madrid already are looking at Saliba, at Gabriel. It's bad enough already. But to some extent, Saliba is coming out with Gabriel and saying that they want to win trophies. That's when they're gonna be called world class. Do they think they're gonna win it at Arsenal based on these performances? On these results where we are in the table? No. It's just a matter of time when a proper bid comes in for Saliba, for Gabriel, to Bukayo Saka to some extent as well. If we sell them, right? Let's just say we sell them. Do you have any trust in this ownership, this board, and this manager to find the proper replacement? 800 million nearly spent, and this is what we see on the pitch with these players. Because if we sell Saliba, we definitely gonna sign some Rob Holding level of replacement. 100%. Like, we're not gonna find the same quality. Not even someone close to that. We're gonna find someone mid-table bum who's gonna bring us down again to top 6 battle. And we're gonna be again out of Champions League. And we will be as close to winning trophies as Earth is to the moon. And that's about it. And we're gonna become History FC. What Liverpool was before Klopp came in. Every year, well, this is our year and everything. And in the end, they don't win it. And they're gonna reminisce in the past. They're gonna reminisce in the hopes. Arsenal are doing that already, Arsenal fans. It's just a matter of time until it becomes a normality. Ashley Young. Fucking hell. Ashley Young. Ashley Old. A granddad on the pitch pocketed our whole left side. He was man of the match of the game, by the way. Let's be real. He was man of the match. A 40-year-old granddad pocketed Electric Martinelli and everyone else. Like, what are we doing here? Seriously. We can't even finish our open play chance. We don't get... That's the thing. We cannot even finish our open play chances. We didn't get that many open play chances overall. We are not clinical enough to have 3 chances to score 1 of them or 2 of them. We are not that clinical. Let's be real. We need to create about 10 chances to score 1 or 2 goals at best. Exactly. We could be still playing this game right now, 5 hours later, and we still wouldn't have scored. Exactly. Big up Will. Sack Arteta. Exactly. Sack him now. In 5-6 days, it's exact 5-year anniversary when Arteta signed for Arsenal in 2019. For God's sakes, on that day, give him the resignation. Give him the paper that terminates his contract. This always says, trust the damn process. Gabriel is back. Why the frick Partey is still playing right back? Timber is goddamn right back and Partey is goddamn... Exactly. Trust the process. We have the players to do the job. Our players are good enough. Well, they are good enough. Let's be real. You have seen it over the years. But how can they be good enough when they don't play their preferred positions? How? That's like you basically take Bukayo Saka and put him in goal and hope he will be as good as David Raya there. Like, seriously, if we talk it like that. Like, it makes no sense. No motion, no fluidity, no nothing. Genuinely. Odegaard mostly missed so many damn. Odegaard missed 3 chances. He didn't even create. He tripped over the ball and nearly planted on his face. However, he had 10 hair flicks. He flicked snot in the air 2-3 times. That sounds fun. Like, it's very easy to nullify Odegaard. Very easy, especially since he only has 1 foot. It's very easy to lock him off. And if you lock Odegaard off, Saka is also locked off pretty much. Remember when Top Gooners were screaming, when Odegaard comes back, you're gonna see the best of Arsenal. Odegaard is back. This is the best of Arsenal we are seeing right now. Pack it in, shut the fuck up, and smell the coffee. Evening, big up Arsenal Manic. Sack him now. Play Ranieri party, Rice midfield bench. Damn, that's the thing. We are drawing 0-0. It's 63rd minute, and we sub off our captain. Our fucking captain we sub off. In the last 2 years, I think there's 20 or 22 games where we have subbed off Michael Odegaard. Dude. Martin Odegaard from drawing losing positions where we desperately need a goal. Which team subs off their captain as often as we do? Which team subs off their captain when they need him the most to encourage the players, drag the game over the line, and be the man who basically takes all the players and says, you have to do this, we have to do this, we gonna do this. Like, Odegaard is the most subbed off captain I have ever seen pretty much. He gets yanked off almost every single game. Which captain does that? Which captain gets treated like that? He should be our creative spark. He should be creating chances. What he created today? Like, seriously. What did he do so exceptional today? The Top Gooners had the chest when he was injured to say that when he's gonna be back, you will see the best of Arsenal. Was it today? Was it against Fulham? When was it? Because let's be real, against United he also did jack shit. Haven't scored 3 goals from open play in Premier League 3 games in a row now. And we have played Everton. We have played United. And we have played Fulham. I'm not gonna lie, Fulham are playing better football than Arsenal are at the moment. And I genuinely, if we had to play Fulham, for example, next week at Craven Cottage, I would be shitting myself at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. 5 years wasted. Flare to deceive. Exactly. That's all it was. He talks like a good politician, so it sounds good on the paper, so all these PR hungry nerds can eat it up and be happy. Pocketed by a 14-year-old. Exactly. Whole team got pocketed by Ashley Young, 40 years old. Martinelli pretty much anonymous. Ashley Young. Ashley freaking Young, man. Martinelli should have pace, agility, advantage over him. Martinelli again was offside. How many times? He was making run of the opposing line of the back again, of the shoulder. And again he was offside. You are on the edge of the line. You should be able to see how deep is the back line. Pause. You should be able to see what line they're standing. What are they doing? Will there be an offside trap or everything? No, he sees nothing. He only looks at his feet. He doesn't scout the area. The footballing IQ for him is genuinely in the bin. Let's be real. Captain Stinker and hooked, yeah. Exactly. Ashley Young. No pace. Can't play a full 90. Plays like Prime Carvajal. Man of the match today for the game. 100. Frodinelli and Odegaard were... Exactly. Kai Havertz as well. Let's be real. Don't forget to put Kai Havertz as well in there. Those subs were questionable. I'm not gonna lie. However, again, these are the situations. Ethan Ranieri came on. I was happy to see him, and I was happy that we took Odegaard off because he was utterly useless today. That was the only positive I can take from the game. Implement him into the game and start him at some point. Screw Odegaard. Either make him play as on left 8, see what he does, or just don't start him at all. Big up. And Martinelli just needs to go back to El Salvador. Another Brazilian at Arsenal who is literally joga finito. It's Jesus and him. Big up Arsenal Manic. Hit the like, subscribe, all this stuff. Come on, big up. Some kick, that's damn Brazilian Werner out of my damn club before kicking. Dude, Werner actually can do something. Werner is actually more dangerous in the attack. Come back. Hey, don't be rude. I get he was shit, but don't be rude. But he's not good enough. Odegaard isn't captain material. Genuinely, Odegaard is not captain material in general. For me, Odegaard is good if you have a world-class player, playmaker around him. Odegaard would look nice next to Cesc Fabregas, for example. And I don't talk about his looks and hair flicks. I'm talking distribution and creative-wise. Because Odegaard is not the guy who can play the main role in this situation. He's the guy who can be the assistant in that role. He would be nice next to, for example, as I said, Cesc Fabregas, Santi Cazorla, the secondary ball distributor, basically a backup dancer in this sense. He would be good in that role. As the main guy, no chance. No wonder Real Madrid bin him off. No wonder Ancelotti doesn't like him. Let's be real. It's not a surprise. And we can see it right now. Let's be real. Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, they get more minutes than Odegaard has ever gotten at Real Madrid. And why? We can see why. Let's be real. We can see why. It's actually pathetic, embarrassing, and utter garbage. Sack him. Sack him right now. I want to wake up tomorrow morning and see newspaper read Mikel Arteta has been sacked. Anyways, where do we go from here? Oh, yeah. Anyone excited about this read? Every word from post-Everton press conference. Everyone excited about this trash? Anyone ready to read this stuff out and see what he has to say? Anyways, on the penalty claim, I haven't seen it, so I cannot comment on that. Okay, cool. On the performance, let's see. I feel very disappointed not to win the game because obviously, if there's a team that deserved to win, there's only one, which is Arsenal. We gave nothing away, no shots conceded, dominated our play, not allowed them to run, no set pieces, high press, excellent. We got them there, we generated the chances, but the last 20 meters was missing to score goals. Well, if you had a striker proper one, maybe you actually would have scored in the last 20 meters and all that stuff. Which is what you have to do with all the dominance because we have never been able to dominate it that way. Dude, you say the same crap every single time we draw or lose. Oh, we dominated the game. We deserve to win the game. I have never seen the team play like this. We saw that against United. Was the same thing. We saw that against Fulham. He said the same thing. He said we deserved a win against Inter Milan. Remember that game with 46 crosses and all that crap? He has said this every single time we drew or lose. Oh, we didn't deserve the result. We deserve to win. We deserve this. If you don't perform, you deserve jack shit. And it's evident you're not good enough, so pack it up. But at the end, you have to try to generate the highest winning probability. Now that you draw the game, you want more. Even if we win it, we always want more. Well, you didn't win it. But I cannot ask much more from the boys apart from putting the ball in the net. Well, holy crap. Nathan's had enough. Nathan's totally had enough. On the substitutions, well, with Declan, I had to take him out because he was feeling something. That sounds a bit zesty, but looks like Declan is injured again. Declan is injured again by the looks of things, and with the Martin, it was a tactical decision to try to change the rhythm, especially on that side. How about you don't change the rhythm on the right, but actually make tactics for the game where game doesn't revolve only with Odegaard drifting to the right, only playing with Saka and, well, Timber at the time, or Partey at this stage. How about you make tactics where we play free-flowing attacking football, where Odegaard is in a free roam where he can drift also to the left side. Because he genuinely only drifts to the right, plays like a right winger touching the right side, pause, and everything. He does nothing of the other. Genuinely, Martinelli half the time is isolated in that space, wide open even. And Odegaard sees that, yet doesn't give the pass to him ever. Never ever. He much rather recycle the ball to Rice, to Saliba, to Timber, than play the ball to the left fully and consistently. That right side is like a bad marriage. Yes, it's all cool from the outside and everything on the paper, but in reality, if you get found out, you're done. It needs to be broken up. As in a relationship, sometimes the hardest thing is to let go, but sometimes the hardest thing is the right thing to do. So sack the manager and break up that right side. Make us create from the whole pitch, not genuinely from one spot, relying on Odegaard or Saka. On whether magic moments can be coached. Oh fucking hell. Who asked this question? Who asked this question? On whether magic moments can be coached. Are we Magic Mike or Aladdin or some crap like that? It's Disney settings all over again. Mickey Mouse Funhouse. No Diddy. That's difficult. At the end of the you need a spark and you need to be precise. I mean, we had the chances that could have been 2 or 3-0 and nobody talking about it. Well, given the fact that Odegaard squandered them all, that went well. Everton also had a chance. We also could have been 1-0 down. What you would have said then? Huh? What you would have said then if Everton, in the 6th minute I think it was, Doucouré would have scored that goal and Gabriel didn't block it. What you would have said then? Because throughout the whole game, I actually never got solely convinced that we're gonna score a goal. And we would have potentially lost that game if they scored that goal. What you would have said then, huh? And all these top gooners, Arteta sexuals, Arteta OnlyFans and all that crap, that gonna say, oh, Arteta coach a 2-0 win and stuff like that. Idiots. I'm sorry, but idiots. I mean, we had chances talking about it. The reality is 0-0. They are not going to talk about all the incredible things that the team did in the game. What incredible things did we do in the game? Anyone have a list? Like, anyone legitimately have a list of all the incredible things we did in the game? If you mean, for example, Odegaard pulled his best Harry Houdini impression, or Lukaku impression, or in missing goals, by the way, United Lukaku, not Everton or West Brom Lukaku, or Saka pulled the Houdini and disappeared, then we can talk. Otherwise, no thanks. I mean, certainly it's not energy. When I see my team track back, it's unbelievable. Every 3 days, 70 meters, all the team is going there. So very difficult to ask them something else because they want it. Dude, you're playing like Mourinho. You are not getting wins like Mourinho. You want to be like Mourinho in the interviews, but you just sound like washed. Genuinely washed, useless, and just lost. Deer in headlights look and everything. Ay, Dios mío. On managing frustration, we have to manage the frustration. Well, ay, Dios mío. If nobody starts to speed up the game, or there is no room to speed it up, then we start to watch the game. We watch the game all the time. We never speed up the tempo. Like, for these mid-low blocks to actually kinda do something, you need some proper tempo, cause chaos and everything. And we did none of that today. Legitimately did jack shit in that regard. We need to understand that nobody starts to force the opponent to make mistakes and to lose the grab of the game. So you have to say, very far away from that. Ay, Dios mío, just ay, Dios mío. Again, exactly. Excuses, excuses, and more excuses. Full gaslight, no accountability. How comes you cannot say, I screwed up this game? Some of the substitutions I made was a risk, but I messed up. How about you be honest? For a change. Enough lying. Be honest, for example. But he's never gonna do that. Let's be real. He's never gonna do that. This gaslight. Exactly. Only gaslight, nothing else. Bro Sadovskeli for a CDM who isn't gonna... Exactly. He just subbed off Skelly for Partey and then put Timber as a left back and put Partey as a right back and everything. He needs to shut up. Sometimes, yeah, genuinely, he needs to shut the hell up. On subbing Odegaard, if you think... Wait, hold on a second. On the substitutions. Well, with Declan it was to take him off because he felt something, and Martin was a tactical decision. And now they keep asking three questions about the same damn topic which he already answered 15 minutes ago. Just... Let's be real. It is genuinely no secret that Arteta knows the questions before the interview starts. Because there is PR managers, media managers who ask the questions and everything. They have discussions, they present them questions, tell them to change them or somehow to change the narrative so it accords to the club and stuff like that. They sit there about an hour before with their tea and biscuits and all that crap. But in general, it's already it's like wrestling for pretty much. There is all the action, but you know it's scripted. It's fun watch, but it's scripted. Same thing is with Arteta's interviews. We know there are going to be questions. We know he's going to say something, but it's all scripted pretty much. There is no action though. That's the issue here. Anyways, again, these three questions he answered already 5 questions ago. Why the hell he gets asked these same questions once again? When Yeri should have started? Yeah, possibly. And Partey in the midfield and Declan Rice should not have started as well. Please let's stop the hype about Odegaard. He wouldn't get... Exactly. I'm not gassing him. He's useless in my books. Well, he's not useless, but he's not captain material. He's not the main guy. He's not the guy you rely on to score the winning goal, to give the winning thread the needle pass, to drag us over the line, to get the team all fired up before a massive game to get us over the line. He's not the guy. For me, the captain, first of all, should be Gabriel, the center back. Second of all, if you want to play Odegaard, you need another creator in the middle. Because he is not good enough to be the number one guy in creative spark. You need, as I said, you need a Fabregas in the midfield as an 8. You need Santi Cazorla in the midfield. You need someone like Modric or Kroos in the midfield, like Xavi, like Iniesta, those type of players who have insane footballing IQ, who can run still, and who can distribute and proper pass and seize the way to play. Then again, this also comes down to the manager. Because if you have all these players and your manager still doesn't allow you to play risky passes, it's useless. Because the way Arteta plays, it's all about control, all about safety, and no risks. And that's how we play. Because there are numerous times Havertz, Rice, Martinelli, to some extent Saka as well, are making incredible runs off the shoulder between the lines and everything. Odegaard sees it and there is open gap, open lane to give the pass. He never does it. He rather recycles the ball back to Partey, back to Timber, Saliba, Gabriel. He never does the risky business. Never. And that now is not just on Odegaard, it's on coaching as well. And that is one of the biggest flaws in our attack. Because we play very safe, pragmatic, and very predictable football. If you shut down our right side, we might as well not play the game. Because we're either going to draw or lose. It's very easy to nullify Arsenal. It's bad enough that our weakness technically is our left side. But we have our weakness in general in the right side. Because if you shut it down, we are done. We have no plan B, no plan C, no plan D. Arteta doesn't have those. He doesn't know what to do. Sometimes when camera generally cuts to him mid-game, when we are struggling, you can see he's confused. You can see he doesn't know what to do. You can see he's just, and that's it. You generally can see that. Always. And nothing's going to change about it. That's the sad part. Because there needs to be a change. Kroenkes need to put pressure on him. 15 million a year, second best paid manager in the world football to watch this crap against Everton. Plus nearly 700-800 million spent on the squad. To watch this crap. To watch this utter shambles almost every single freaking week. Nobody's being held accountable. Nobody's getting accountable. Nobody's owning up to these mistakes. And nobody's doing anything about it. That's the worst part. And that is what's something really pissing me off these days. It's bad enough that we have cronkies that we cannot get rid of. Our board is tapped a bit, but it is what it is, I guess. I would love to see them all go, but it's impossible, just like cronkies. But the next best thing that can go after cronkies is ARTETA. Will it happen? No, it won't, because if we sack him today, we definitely need to pay about 40 million in the compensation for the rest of the contract. Will cronkies sign up for that? No, they don't. But let's be real, they have the money, they can do it easily. And that's about it. Job done. Sack him. Get in Nagelsmann, Mancini, who else is there? If you pay the right money, for example, and Inzaghi is willing to come, get Inzaghi here. It's Champions League season, probably nobody's gonna want. Champions League team is not gonna sell. Most likely, let's be real. But there is opportunities to get proper managers in. Will it happen? No, it won't. Because nobody wants to lift a finger. Because as soon as Kroenke sack Arteta, they have no shield again. They are on the display. It's not a coincidence that when there was COVID and everything passed, they wanted to create a Super League. Arsenal opted into the Super League. As soon as Arsenal fans started rioting, they pulled out of the Super League. They wrote up some fake-ass apology and everything. And next summer, instantly, nearly 250 million spent in the window. They needed to buy our love, basically. That's what it worked out to. They needed to buy our trust out. And it happened, let's be real, I'm not gonna gaslight it. It happened to some extent with me as well. Because the first season we finished second with the incredible football we played, the attacking 22-23 season, I was excited. Because Saliba was injured for the second part of the season. I was thinking, if Saliba comes in, we sign proper players, we should win the league. What I see next season, after signing Declan Rice, we signed Kai Havertz, which I'm still quite pissed about. That will cost us around, 65 million, plus about 60 million in wages alone. Nearly 130, 140 million in general. Overall, over this whole time he's going to be at Arsenal. Right? Then we sign Raheem Sterling a year later, Norbert Neto. We sell all the players, no backups. Thinnest squad last year in the league, 25 players. This year, thinnest squad in the league again, with 3 players less, with 22 players. We're struggling as it is. We were this close to winning the league 2 years in a row. What we did in this window to actually make the final push? Nothing. We signed bum-ass players. We signed flavor of the months. And now, when City has a massive drop-off, which all the top gooners were saying, nobody can beat Pep Guardiola. Once Pep retires, Arsenal are gonna win the league. Pep is struggling as hell at the moment. He's in a situation he's never been in his coaching career, by the way. And he's gonna pull through. If Man City win tomorrow, for example, against United, right? And they finish before January transfer window only 6 points behind Liverpool, they already have lined up 3, 4, 5 players they are going after January transfer window. It's been revealed that most likely they're gonna sign 2 or 3 players already. They will be in a shooting chance of winning the league again. And if City win the league from this spot where they are right now, we might as well finish the Premier League. Because that will be the ultimate ball experience for the whole league, not just Arsenal or Liverpool. Let's be real. All these teams, Maresca, championship manager, comes to Chelsea, balls out at the moment. No Diddy. No pause, balls out. Genuinely, tomorrow they play against Southampton, if I'm not mistaken. Probably gonna win as well. Balling out. Slot comes in. Yes, he has world-class players. They have the winners and everything. First season, no signings in summer transfer window. Top of the league. Draws the game with 10 men. What Arsenal do with 10 men? Park the bus and play for a draw. Liverpool were losing both times with 10 men, and they were with 10 men. They were 1-0 down and 2-1 down. And they still managed to draw. Hello? We had a chance these last 2 years to win the league. And people, these top gooners, Arteta sexuals, Arteta only fans, and all these mutants were saying, as soon as Pep leaves, we're gonna do it. But Pep just signed a new contract, right? And it was just inevitable that out of nowhere, other teams will come in. Chelsea has risen like a phoenix pretty much. Liverpool are up there. No surprise. Let's see how long it lasts. Let's be real. Let's not get over it ourselves and everything. But let's see how long it lasts. And to add everything on top, it's the repeat of the past. Year Leicester won the league. We should have won the league. Let's be real. If Giroud could finish his dinner, we should have won the league. Ozil should have beaten Thierry Henry's assist record as well. We should have won the league. Leicester came out of nowhere. This year, Chelsea, Liverpool. Well, not maybe Liverpool because they were in a title race last year until April. But Chelsea have come out of nowhere and throwing their basically bet on the table and let's see what rides, what doesn't. We had 2 years. We had this small window of 2 years to win the league. We didn't. Other teams have caught up with us to some extent, let's be real, or even overtaken us, you can also say it that way. And in this last window was a chance to improve the squad even more and to do the final push. But what we did this transfer window was allow every single team around us to sign players, close the gap to us and City, and now we're paying the price. Because we didn't get closer to City with these signings, let's be real. City are in such a position where they didn't sign anyone. Well, Savio, okay, cool. Gundogan came back, okay, cool. But ultimately, they didn't sign anyone. And they probably were looking at Arsenal doing jack shit in transfer window and said, well, this is going to be easy. They're doing nothing. Why should we do nothing? We did the quadruple now 4 years in a row. Why should we do something? Now they are in this situation where Rodri has no replacement, which City fans were screaming on for years right now. But you know what they're going to do in January. They're gonna go sign replacement for Rodri. They're going to probably sign a backup for Haaland. And they're going to sign another midfielder. And they're going to be right back in it. Because we all know City has it in them to go on a 20-30 game winning streak. And if they catch that chance, that thread, and they smell the blood of the other teams, you can bet your sweet ass they're going to do it. And if they win the league from this position, this situation where they are right now, we might as well chuck it up, lock off the Premier League, and sack every single manager. Because that genuinely wouldn't be... This league generally would be done if City win the league now from this position. Because they are in the biggest disadvantage at the moment. You could say that. Losing Rodri has made them a top 4 team, ultimately. Let's be real. Losing Rodri has made them that. But once they find the Rodri replacement, it's done. It is genuinely, utterly done. Nathan's still advocating for Gasperini. Yeah, true. Not sure he would move in 67 years old. Not sure he would move. I think he's done and dust. He's done there. He's gonna stay at Italy for the rest of his life. We should just go back to 3. Nah, he's never gonna do that. Never, ever. Big up, Marlon. Big up. I'm just speaking my mind and how I feel at the moment. It's really pissing me off these days as well. I hate being negative. I hate being winded up like this as I am right now. I really hate this side of me. But 20 years with no title. 20 plus years with no Premier League. Not even to mention Champions League. Because let's be real, teams like Red Star Belgrade, Ajax, PSV, Nottingham Forest, teams like that have won Champions League. This so-called big, scintillating, dangerous Arsenal gets spammed 10-2 by Bayern Munich over 2 legs in Champions League. We need to build Emirates so we can compete with Chelsea, Bayern, Real Madrid and Barcelona and all these teams. We need to be in Champions League to sign the world-class players. We are in it. We signed nobody. Genuinely, we have signed nobody. We are in a situation where we should be signing big players. Instead, we signed players like Merino, Kivior. Who else we have signed? Zinchenko and players like that. We should be signing world-class level players near that. But instead, we signed these mediocre players who are barely good enough to be on the bench. And on top of that, we paid them top dollar to sit on the bench week in, week out and do nothing. And I'm gonna say this again. Edu conducted an interview, I think a year ago, where he said, when I just came to Arsenal with Mikel Arteta and everything at the time, we sat down and we looked at it and said, we have very mediocre players that are not good enough on very high wages. And the first job was to get rid of them. We fast forward 5 years now, we are again in the same position. Mediocre players who are partially not good enough on twice as high wages as they were at the time 5 years ago, and we need to get rid of them. In whole of Arsenal's 22-man squad, there are 3 or 4 players who get less than 100 grand a week. 4 less players only who get 100 grand or less than a week. And by June, 2 of those 4 players are on 90 grand a week. And how are you proposing that Arsenal are gonna get rid of these players where Zinchenko is on 150, Martinelli on 180, Jesus on 245, Havertz on 265, Partey is gonna leave for free by the looks of things, but he's on 200 grand. Kivior is on 90 if I'm not mistaken, or 60, and like that. It's impossible, genuinely impossible. It ultimately will result to the fact that either they're gonna go for free, or we have to rip up their contracts like we have done it before. One of the two. Because I don't see a team who's gonna sign Gabriel Jesus for 165 grand a week. 265 grand a week, sorry. Martinelli is on 190, 180 at the moment. Who's gonna sign Martinelli for about 60 million? I would assume so, at least. Based on performances, he's worth about 35, 40, but it is what it is. He's still young, so you maybe can shove it into and inflate the price. But who's gonna pay him 180 grand a week, or in that amount? There are not many teams who pay top dollar for most players. Highest wages are in Premier League, let's be real, most of the time. What are we gonna do? Like, what are we going to do? Like, so we are not signing any big players. Exactly. Arteta wants players that he wants. And that is maybe not the players that we should be signing, but the players that he thinks fits the system. And you know how we are doing these transfer rumors and everything. In 17 days, January 1st, slowly but steadily, transfer streams will start and everything in between as well. And we're gonna talk about Vlahovic, Isak, Ederson, the center mid from Atalanta, Zubimendi, and all these guys. You know the usual suspects Arsenal are linked with. And we say, oh, he could do good at Arsenal. He's the player Arsenal needs. But ultimately, we should not be looking at this as this is the player I think will do good at Arsenal. Because let's be real, we can talk to whoever we want. We can be linked to whoever we want, whether you like the player or not. Ultimately, it comes down to this Lego-ass head bum-ass manager, whether he thinks it fits the system, whether he can invert, whether he can cross the ball, whether he can play 3-5-yard passes in 2 seconds and stuff like that. Because there's one thing when we look at these players and think, Kvaratskhelia would be good at Arsenal, for example. Would be fantastic. Like, yeah. Ederson, Reinders, players like that would be great at Arsenal. Okay, cool. Yes, they might be. But let's be real. Maybe not under this manager. Because he would ruin them. He has turned very, very skillful and technical players that we have currently in the team to such a system players that are boxed into certain amount of things they are allowed to do, that he is hindering more than helping the team. He's overthinking things. He's overcoaching some things. Because let's be real, if Alexis would play in this Arsenal squad, he would be phenomenal, right? The thing is, under Mikel Arteta, he wouldn't be phenomenal. Because one thing that Wenger allowed to do his attackers is to express themselves. Be free, rotate, attack, free roam, dribble, do everything just to create chances. That's what made us to be this free-flowing football. Yes, you can see play patterns, but ultimately they have freedom to do what they deemed necessary to get past defender. Mikel Arteta doesn't allow our players to do anything. Either you get to them past them, or you recycle the ball and just play shoehorn type U-shaped football, or if you don't have a pass it backwards to the center back, and then to Raya even, so hoofs it up. That's about it. He gives our players no freedom. Because 2 years ago, 22-23 season, he gave our players freedom. And we saw what we did, how the attack was, how we were playing. It was fantastic to watch. We were the best team, best looking football in Europe, let's be real. But ultimately, we lost an 8-point lead, we balled the league. Arteta shit pants from there, and ultimately, yes, that was it. We have pretty much never seen it again. We saw it last in the second part of the season last year, but then it was too late. We already had lost the league pretty much. Let's be real, we had to win every single game, but we lost to Villa. That again was to Mikel Arteta because we played Havertz in the midfield. But we actually lost the league before that. Third, fourth game of the season, Joe at home to 10-man Fulham. 2-0 loss to West Ham. A loss to Fulham again. And teams like that. Everton and everything. We lost the league then, December, 1-7. That's where we lost the league, not the game against Everton. But ultimately, the thing is, these performances are weaving through the league, through years, and it happens every single year. And it happens for quite a bit. These performances are repeating themselves. And people just don't want to see it. People say, oh, it's just a one draw. We're going to win next game. Okay, we do. But ultimately, if you look at things not just in span of next game, but if you look at the whole picture, if you win 6 games, right, and then you lose 3 and draw 3, you have ultimately dropped 12 points. And in this league, the margin for error is pretty much non-existent. Let's be real. We need players who will fix the problem, strengthen our weaknesses, and create our team to have impact, whether it's a bench or... Exactly, but we are not going to get that. Let's be real. We are not gonna get that. That is the biggest issue. Look at this Premier League table, right? Look where we are. Look where we are in the table. We are third. Doesn't seem too bad, but we are 6 points behind Liverpool, who dropped points today as well. Man City, if they win, they are on the same points as us, by the way, and they would be behind us only on goal difference. Nottingham Forest in 6 minutes scored 2 goals and beat Aston Villa 2-1. Today, that happened before I went live, by the way. That was an insane game, let's be real. Man City have a game in hand, obviously. Chelsea have a game in hand, by the way. If Chelsea win the game, they are 4 points already ahead of us. 4 points ahead of us if Chelsea win tomorrow. And they're only 2 points behind Liverpool. What phase is Maresca in? Same players that Pochettino couldn't coach properly. Finished the 8th, 9th last year. And now they are basically second in the league with a chance of being only 2 points behind Liverpool. Hello? Look at Fulham. 24 points. Only 6 points behind Arsenal. Only 6 points behind Arsenal. Only. How wild is that? Arsenal's B team, pretty much. We can say what we want, but we are not in a title race. There's no chance in hell we are winning title this year. We have drawn 6 games already this year and lost 2, which means we have dropped what? 6, 12, 18 points. We have dropped already 18 points this season. We have 22 games left in the league. 22 games. And you can get maximum of 66 points. 30 plus 66 is 96. To equal the points we got last year, we can at best lose 2 and draw 1. No, lose 2 games and that's it. There is no margin for error at all anymore. We are not doing that. We are genuinely not doing that. And this is the big one. This is the worst one. I saw this tweet after the game, by the way. I saw this tweet after today's game. Look at this. Look at this tweet. Specifically. After 16 league games. This year, 30 points. Last year, 39 points. 2 years ago, 43 points. So technically, with 400 million spent over the last 2 years, with signing better players and more experience, we have gained 13 less points than 2 years ago when we were playing free-flowing attacking football. Do I need to say anything else? Do I need to speak more? Do I need to say anything else? He's never going to do that. He's never going to sign that type of a player. Because it doesn't matter who we want for Arteta to sign. Because it also doesn't matter who he signs. Because it will ultimately come down to the fact how Arteta envisions him in his system in terms of what he can produce. Because ultimately he's going to somehow handcuff him, put him in a box, make him a system player, and not allow him to do what he was best known for at the club we signed him from. Because it's same thing happened with Pepe, for example, for me at Arsenal. Pepe was at Lille, we signed him for 72 million, right? And with installments and everything. He was fantastic with driving between the lines, getting in behind, against high line, attacking with pace, with both his feet, dribbling past defenders, and he had fantastic finishing. He came at Arsenal, and he carried us through Europa League, first of all. He was playing like that when he was given a chance. And Arteta at that time was also trying to shift the style of play to more control, more possession, less running in behind, less attacking, more controlled type of football. And that instantly ruined Pepe, for example. Pepe needs open spaces. Pepe needs ball at his feet with speed and attack and drive. And we don't do that. Saka was doing that in the first 2 seasons when he was at Arsenal. As soon as Mikel Arteta changed the system, that's disappeared. Martinelli as well. He was fantastic 2 years ago. Yes, it's on Martinelli partially that he has become this Fartinelli, Bum Martinelli, and El Salvadorian Martinelli, right? But there's also a part in the system. It doesn't help him that the left side gets changed every single time like socks. But ultimately, in my opinion, it's also due to the system. Because that was attacking, now it's more controlled defensive system. And that also is hindering his development, as much as development there is. Because currently Arsenal under Mikel Arteta are regressing. Not in terms just in points, in performances and everything, but also players on themselves are regressing. And that is something that genuinely cannot be serious. Someone who has a trophy winning mentality and serious and won't crumble under the pressure. Well, technically we have that. Kai Havertz has won Champions League, Jesus has won Premier League, and Zinchenko has won Premier League. Technically we have that. But those are not the players who play backup dancers for the main guys who's gonna carry you over the line. In your team you need players like in the stature of Puyol, Ramos, Vieira, Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, Cesc Fabregas also to a big extent. Thierry Henry, you need players with stature, experience, and who have won it and done it. In ideal scenario themselves, who have also been one of the key roles, who have carried everyone over the line. And we have none of that. We have inexperienced players in terms of big pressure. We have a manager who has played together at PSG with freaking Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho, you know. One of the greatest midfielders / wingers of all time. And he doesn't know what to do with everyone. Like, that is the big embarrassing part. Arteta doesn't know what he's doing. I generally feel that way half the time. As soon as there are injuries, red cards, he panics. Because there is no necessity to play Timber as a left back, Partey as a right back. There's legitimately zero necessity when you can play Timber as a right back, Skelly as a left back, Sabon Tierney as a left back if you need a backup. But he doesn't like Tierney. Why would he do it then? Like, this manager is washed. He should be sacked right here on the spot and go coach Cadiz, Amorbieta, Elche, Albacete, someone in Spain, Spanish second division, or Real Zaragoza, or in first division, he can go coach Mallorca, Celta Vigo, and teams like that. Almeria, well, they're in second division, but it is what it is. In Almeria, teams like that. He's not good enough to coach a club where expectations are so high. Because as soon as, even if we win it, we will need to win it again. Well, at least there would be experience. Maybe he will do it then. But ultimately, for me, it doesn't matter if he wins FA Cup, Carabao Cup. For me, you either win Premier League or Champions League, or you get out of the club. I'm already Arteta out for the longest time. He needs to go right now. If we want to have any chance to win any trophy this season at all, he needs to go. This Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday, by the way, we are playing against Crystal Palace in FA Cup. Wait, Arsenal. I need Arsenal schedule, not Premier League schedule. We're playing, not Carabao Cup, but not FA Cup, but Carabao Cup. We are playing against Crystal Palace this Wednesday in Carabao Cup at 7:30 kickoff. Do you think we will win that game? We should, but will we? After this performance against Everton, do you have any trust that we actually might do it? No one is playing like they want to win. Exactly. Because also they don't know how. They don't know how to win trophies. They don't know how to dominate Europe because they have never done it. Exactly, the bench system. The bench everyone. Yeah, Saliba, Gabriel, Raya. Maybe, I would say also Bukayo Saka to some extent. But I think it also comes down how Mikel Arteta is coaching him. We have to play Palace still this year. Crystal Palace and Ipswich. 2 games this calendar year. No, 3. Palace at home in the cup. So we have to play Palace twice and Ipswich. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of bricking it. I'm not gonna lie, we are bricking it. Exactly. He loaned out Reece Nelson and loaned in Raheem Sterling. For the same money. Reece is on 100 grand, we play Raheem Sterling 100 grand. And doesn't even play him. Saka gets no run. Exactly. At some point, it will cost us as well. Saka already was injured this season. It's a matter of time, as much as I hate to say this, he's gonna get injured again. And what are we gonna do then? Play Sterling every game? Play Jesus every game? Jesus is more of a winger. Why don't we start Jesus as a left wing, for example, instead of Jesus and instead of Martinelli and Trossard, for example? Why don't we explore these ideas? That also is a bit of a mystery. Why bro was crying about the left back and Tierney is here and waiting to play? Exactly, he's crying about everything. All the gaslight, all the excuses, but ultimately no accountability from the ownership. No accountability, none whatsoever. But anyways, I think on that note, I'm gonna end it here. Arsenal have ruined my whole weekend now. It's a shame, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Tomorrow, Chelsea play against Southampton, United play against City. If City win, it's even worse for Arsenal than ever before. But I guess it is what it is. But yeah, for today, that will be it. I'm absolutely done and dusted. I feel very deflated, to say the least. I feel really pissed off, that's true, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But anyways, like the stream, video, subscribe if you're new around here. Take care. Enjoy the evening as much as you can. Try to forget about Arsenal until Wednesday, and see you all tomorrow.